So I think people always forget what happened in Appalachia or that the Civil War affected Appalachia, and it did greatly. My family is not unique in this. This is actually quite common, where you will see families split. It really was brothers fighting brothers, cousins fighting cousins. It really did fall down to personal preference in certain states. So Ohio was very, very solidly blue. We have the Underground Railroad Museum, and we have a lot of our houses that are like from that time period that are still standing that were on the Underground Railroad. The Underground Railroad was a big thing here in Cincinnati, especially getting people out and up into Canada. The other thing too is that Tennessee was solidly Confederate, and in between was Kentucky. And Kentucky was just, for the longest time, was just kind of a coin flip. It just depended on the actual county or the area, and eventually it started moving towards slavery, but not completely. So you had like this theme of brothers fighting brothers, and that was actually very accurate, especially for the people of Appalachia. And like in families like mine, like this is Calvin McCulley's tree or family, and his is a prime example of this, where one last name McCullough and then McCulley. So what basically what this is because for the longest time we couldn't figure out why McCullough was spelled that way, and now we know why. Basically, anybody whose last name on here is McCulley, like Eli, like Elias here, they sided with the Confederacy. Anybody whose name is McCullough, they sided with the Union. And that's how they split it. They literally divorced themselves of each other. And also, like, they tended to move. Like, Elias, who decided to stay Confederate, moved to Texas and then died of a snake bite. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but like you survived the Civil War just to die of a snake bite. That sucks. It's just very Oregon Trail of him. But anyway, and some of them, I feel like that's where you see some of the epigenetics that we see now. Is that if you look at somebody's family history, like my family right now would be very split. Not my immediate family, but my extended family. Your own family would be split, likely. So, yeah. And we can be as repulsed as we'd like, but that's the reality of the situation. So, this like I said, like epigenetics, I think, is at play here. And I can't help but see similar patterns and similar themes between what's happening now with MAGA and what has happened, especially now that we know that J.D. Vance is a Surratt. So yeah, but the Civil War was not as cut and dry for Appalachia as people think. A lot of these families were impacted directly from the war being near them, or directly in that their sons fought for either side. And it wasn't uncommon for parents to have multiple sons at war fighting each other. Yeah.